Welcome back to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. My name is Gordy, and all this week I will be sharing some weird animal facts that I've researched. One bizarre animal a day, and today, the vampire bat. Blah! The only mammal that lives entirely on blood. They sneak up on sleeping animals, they slice their skin, and feed for up to 40 minutes without waking them. And their spit, it may one day save your life. Like and subscribe right now if you haven't. It might one day save your life. I do this every single day, so I'd like to see you tomorrow as well. Last week, the theme was Wonders of the World. The new Wonders of the World, one each day for 7 days. And for the next 7 days, the theme is weird animal facts and stories, all researched and sourced as always. So let's kick it right off. I was reading The Lost City of Z, explorer Percy Fawcett's tireless quest through the uncharted Amazon to find the legendary city of El Dorado, or as he called it, Zed, or as we call it, Z. And somewhere deep in the jungle, an explorer woke up in his hammock and realized his legs were wet. It must be sweat, he thought, but then he smelled iron. It was blood. It had pooled at the base of the mosquito net. His skin had been sliced open, seemingly surgically, and left to drip for who knows how long. And the strangest part is he never felt a thing. He slept right through it. I wish I could say this was some Dracula fan fiction, but it's a real story. Accounts like those in The Lost City of Z describe explorers waking up to blood-soaked legs, even when sealed seemingly behind mosquito netting. That part really got to me. You know, just imagine like sleeping, already tormented by the insects of the Amazon. They're literally burrowing into your skin, and thinking you could just have a little reprieve in your mosquito net, but no. The culprit, well, that's a vampire bat, with fangs so thin and precise they can pierce skin through the net. And this is the most unsettling part to me, is that they can sip blood for up to 40 minutes without waking you. So it's just like, I think it's just like the retroactive, the knowledge looking back that there's a vampire bat sucking my blood for 40 minutes when I just like slept and just latched onto you. Just, that's awful. I don't like that. I really don't like that. But yeah. So that cute creature is the star of today's episode, the vampire bat, the only mammal on Earth that survives entirely on blood, as I mentioned up top. There are over 1,400 species of bats in the world, and only 3 are true vampires, and all of them live in Central and South America. The most famous of the 3 is Desmodus rotundus, and that is the common vampire bat. And despite the horror movie PR, it's really just a small animal. It's about the size of a mouse, but it is packed with some of the strangest adaptations in the animal kingdom, in my opinion. I think it's really cool. First, we'll start with their teeth. They don't suck blood like a straw. That is a myth. Instead, they use razor-sharp incisors to slice the skin open, typically targeting sleeping livestock like cows, pigs, or horses. They don't hit the arteries or veins. They create a small shallow wound that flows just enough. Their saliva, this is interesting, contains a powerful anticoagulant. Literally it's called draculin, and it keeps the blood from clotting. So it's like, I'm still thirsty, don't worry, my spit's gonna keep it coming. And it also, their saliva includes an anesthetic, so like you're not gonna feel it happening. Learning about this really reminded me of how much medicine comes from nature. So you should check out my old video from March 10th, 2025 about how blood pressure medicine, one of the most common blood pressure medicines today, is derived from ACE inhibitors. They're derived from this pit viper in South America, the jararaca, I believe it's called. So go check out that one because that's really fascinating. March 10th, 2025. Go find it. But yeah, this anesthetic effect in vampire bat saliva is why they were so feared in early expeditions, because people genuinely didn't know that they'd been bitten until they woke up bleeding. I just hate that. I'd rather just like know what's happening than feel that like disgusting sense that I've been violated by a bat. Oh, the shame. And while all this sounds like a horror villain origin story, it's biological gold. It really is, because draculin is now being studied as a potential treatment for stroke victims because it can prevent clotting without triggering other immune reactions. So yeah, like vampire bats really could save your life one day by just spitting into your blood. If you have a stroke, just reach for that nearby vampire bat and let it do its thing. Like, Grandpa, why are you holding the cat like that? It's a bat. No, it's a bat. No, yeah, sorry. But their weirdness doesn't stop at spit. Vampire bats are one of the few bat species that can walk, hop, and run on the ground. This is also terrifying. Check there's like, they're clumsy. You know, most bats are really clumsy on land, but vampire bats, they use their thumbs and hind limbs to crawl like little goblin spiders, sneaking up on their prey in the dead of the night, and they can even leap, you know, using a motion eerily similar to frogs. So when researching this, I saw a video of a vampire bat running on a treadmill, and it's horrifying, even though it sounds kind of cute when I say it, but maybe it doesn't even, it's just terrifying. But when it, so when it comes to targeting prey, like these animals aren't just guessing, they're very locked in. They have special heat sensors in their face, similar to infrared goggles or women in the throes of menopause. They can detect areas of the body where blood flows closest to the surface, you know, those heat sensors in the face. And that's why they tend to bite at ankles or necks or extremities. Less fur, more warmth, better access. And now here's where it gets wholesome, I guess. Like, you be the judge if this is wholesome or just the worst thing ever. Vampire bats are shockingly generous. If one bat in the colony goes out hunting and doesn't find a meal, another bat will regurgitate blood into its mouth to keep it alive. Oh, look at it. In fact, vampire bats have politics. They remember who shares with them, and they actually build social bonds, even forming what researchers call friendships, but I call blood brothers. And it's one of the rare examples of reciprocal altruism in the wild. They recognize individuals, they hold grudges, and will stop feeding uncooperative freeloaders. So basically, they're just like weird little socialist vampires with strict honor codes. And to even survive on blood in the first place, their bodies had to pull off a bunch of metabolic miracles, essentially, because blood is low in calories, high in iron, and over 90% water. So vampire bats evolved kidneys that can flush out the water quickly. Their guts have evolved to absorb nutrients with incredible efficiency, and they have an immune system that protects them from the dangerous pathogens that blood often carries. Their genomes show unique adaptations related to iron processing, gut microbiota, Marcus Mariota, and they even have taste receptor loss because they don't need to taste sweetness or bitterness. They're just drinking blood, you know? It's like, it doesn't matter. I know what I like. And finally, they can bite humans. They can, as I've read about it in these Amazon expeditions, but they usually don't. However, if livestock is scarce, then it definitely happens. And like if you're in the middle of the jungle, you're there with your burrow, and you're just you're gonna get bit. You know, who knows? How are they gonna tell you apart? You don't have enough hair covering. You're just a big glowing infrared mess. Big infrared dinner table to them. And that's how vampire bats can spread rabies, you know, which is the real danger, actually, like not the blood loss. The blood loss is just disgusting and upsetting and unsettling and just the worst. But the actual worst is the rabies. But my I don't know if the rabies is the worst, actually. My real fear is that a vampire bat will consider me a friend and try to throw up blood into my mouth. That's my real fear. I'm like, no, dude, I am not your friend. Please do not. No! So there you have it, the vampire bat, a fanged, crawling, heat-seeking blood specialist that evolved to feed without being felt and sometimes gives back more than it takes. What a generous thing. Check out my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Thank you to them. Thank you to you for watching. Please leave me a comment, rate, like, subscribe. Have you ever seen one of these in person? Have you ever seen a vampire bat? Have you ever been bitten by a bat? What do you think about bats? Do you like bats or not? I used to go out on the lake fishing at night with my friends. I grew up on a lake. Bats, they're not vampire bats, but they'd be swooping right over your head. And it's nice in a way because they're getting the mosquitoes and the bugs away, but they're a bit of a showboats. They come pretty close to you and you don't see them and they're just whooping around. And I don't like bats. I mean, I don't not like bats. I appreciate them, but they're not my favorite animal. You know, I remember this quote from Malcolm in the Middle where a bat gets into the house and the dad's trying to calm his kids down and be like, but don't worry. Don't be scared. It's just a bat. And he's like, just repeat after me. They're just flying rats with radar. That's all they are. Just flying rats with radar. And just like, I don't think that's very comforting. Anyway, that's the show today. Come back tomorrow. Find the 1 minute version at Smartest Year Ever on social media. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. I will see you tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever. More Animal Week.